Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing Season 7, Episode 5 of Game of Thrones, titled Eastwatch. With that being said, warning of spoilers and let's jump right into this. So let's just start out by discussing how we get the aftermath of the Lannister army getting destroyed by Daenerys and her dragon. Randyll and Dickon Tarly refused to bend the knee, and so they burned to death, similar to many characters in the past such as Mance Rayder. It was really kind of saddening to see them die like that, but it's just because I mostly felt bad for Sam as he is now the last remaining Tarly. And so, although Tyrion does have a point about giving Randyll and Dickon mercy, he needs to understand that you still need to be feared in order to be respected as a leader. Notice how only a few of the remaining Lannisters kneeled when she originally gave them sympathy, while the rest of them quickly kneeled at the fear of Daenerys' dragon. Although being a loving and caring leader is the morally correct decision that Daenerys wishes that she could always choose, she's been losing the war due to playing it safe and respectful, and she's getting sick and tired of it. Although Tyrion wants nothing more than to support Daenerys while keeping her safe, he's been practically wrong about everything he's said this season. Bronn and Jaime are shown to have successfully retreated from losing their battle against Daenerys the previous episode, as Bronn drags Jaime ashore, saving him from drowning. They discuss how this isn't a war that they can win, considering that they've been beaten with only one of her 3 dragons. This leads Jaime to report back to Cersei as he attempts to convince her of how big of a threat Daenerys and her dragons are, along with the Dothraki. Although Jaime saw that one of those giant crossbows almost took down a dragon, he's still very discouraged that this is something that they can actually manage to win. Jaime admits to Cersei that it was Olenna Tyrell that actually murdered Joffrey and not Tyrion. Cersei seems to be in shock because of all of this, and she becomes mad at Jaime for convincing her to give Olenna a peaceful death. And so as Daenerys returns to Dragonstone, Jon has a very personal moment with Drogon, and it impresses Dany very much. Seeing the dragon this close up was amazing in its own right, but it also heavily implies Jon's true lineage. This of course begs the question if Tyrion has any Targaryen blood as well, considering that he approached the dragons in the dungeons of Meereen, but all he did was loosen the chains and not actually pet them, so we'll have to wait and see if anything ever comes of that. Anyways, Jorah returns breaking up Jon's moment with Daenerys as he has his own heart-touching moment with her, informing her that he indeed found a cure for his grayscale. But it was a little anticlimactic how truly easy it was to get rid of his grayscale. I was also hoping for Jorah to mention that it was actually Sam who cured him, but at least Jon acknowledges that he used to follow the command of Jorah's dad back at the Night's Watch. Moving on, we get a cut to Bran flying ravens over the army of the dead, and we can see the eyes of the ravens flicker between normal and white as it looks like Bran is switching between them, which kinda reminded me of when you switch between camera angles in the video game Watch Dogs. Anyways, the Night King actually breaks up Bran's warging with the ravens by simply staring at them and making the ravens cluster and fly away. So was there actual magic power preventing Bran here, or did he just get scared? Anyways, as far as Sam goes, he tries convincing the maesters at the Citadel to believe in the White Walker and the Army of the Dead, but they all seem to laugh at it except for his own personal maester. He says it may be possible and that they won't completely write it off as fake, but that they'll write back for more clarification. And so later that night, Sam is shown with Gilly while she continues to practice reading. While Sam is getting irritated and annoyed at not accomplishing anything at the Citadel, Gilly actually drops one of the biggest plot points of this season. She confirms that Rhaegar Targaryen nulled his marriage with Olenna Targaryen in order to properly marry Lyanna Stark secretly in Dorne. Sam, not realizing the importance of what she just said, brushes it off due to his anger about the Citadel, so they actually pack up and leave right after Sam steals more books. He's presumably going to travel back up to help Jon and Daenerys against the White Walkers, but what other information will he uncover? He was also never told about the death of his brother or father, so we'll have to wait and see how he handles it, considering that Jon now has an alliance with the woman that burned them alive. It'll also be kinda funny if Jorah and Sam reunite as well, considering that they both headed back to the same place. So Jon and Daenerys come up with a ridiculous plan to try and make a temporary peace treaty with Cersei in order to deal with the White Walker threat. They want to smuggle Tyrion in to talk to Jaime about it while they prepare a group of their best warriors to go beyond the wall in search for a white to kidnap and bring back as proof. Now as far as Davos smuggling Tyrion into King's Landing, it seemed very dangerous and I wish that we spent more time addressing it. First off, I love the character Davos and everything that he's about, but even though they just had a small boat, I'm surprised that they were able to row into that beach and just walk ashore. Tyrion ended up getting to the meeting spot with Jaime and back without showing any difficulties of getting caught once, only until the two soldiers that troubled Davos recognize him as well. That being said, it was awesome to see the return of Gendry, even though it took way too long to bring him back into the show. It was pretty funny how Davos mentioned the whole rowing thing, since that practically became a meme. Also, I love the way that Davos introduces him to Tyrion, as Gendry ends up saving their ass by smashing in the heads of the two guards, giving Tyrion a hard time. Tyrion simply says that he'll do, and they get in the boat and leave. Now, as far as Tyrion's meeting with Jaime, it was about as uncomfortable as you'd expect it to be. Tyrion begins by mentioning how Jaime outsmarted him with the Casterly Rock situation, and then they briefly discuss the fate of their father, but as Tyrion begins to get worked up defending himself, Jaime cuts him off by demanding to know what he actually wants. And this leads Jaime to once again report back to Cersei, except this time she says that she was already aware about the meeting and that she let it happen. It is very strange that she didn't use this opportunity to take Tyrion hostage and get revenge for her father, but I guess that she really wanted to have Jaime meet with him. Cersei admits to Jaime that she is now pregnant, and it seems like this news has motivated her to really try and win this thing safely. It seems like Cersei is going to try and use this new possible alliance to her advantage, as it may be the only logical way for her to actually take down Daenerys. Cersei always plays unfair, and she's very manipulative, and it's not surprising at all that she would try and take advantage of this. Also, as far as our main characters meeting up at the end of the episode, I absolutely loved it. Although I think that their plan to go and capture a White is really stupid, I love how they've brought all of these characters together, and I love all of the dynamics between them. They all hate each other for one reason or another, but they're put together and they're mature enough to work together and realize that. Personally, the Hound is one of my favorite characters, but I love all of them and I can't wait to see more screen time from each and every one. Now, a lot of this show just kinda seems rushed at this point, considering how fast things are moving along compared to previous seasons. People are jumping everywhere across the map, and we're left very confused as to how much time has exactly gone by these past few episodes. This is just my personal opinion, but it seems like the creators of the show don't really know what to do for certain characters, considering that they don't have any more source material, so these certain characters are starting to suffer because of it. Littlefinger and Arya being two main examples, but there are many more that I could sit here and call out. I don't want this video to turn into a rant of any sort, so I'll keep this short, but I really think it's a shame how much of the show is just rushing to the ending, with only under 10 episodes left to the entire series. Let me know how you guys felt about this episode down in the comments section below, along with your own predictions on how you think this season might end. I hope that the finale to this season ties up a lot of loose ends, because we'll have to wait quite a while for the final season of Game of Thrones, but at this point we're almost just forcing ourselves into accepting it and enjoying it for what it is. The episode itself was still very enjoyable, and I have very much liked this season, but as I said, it is what it is. Anyways, I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Game of Thrones content in the near future. As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.